This week on Pole House Bite Pot Weekend Getaways, we conclude our visit to Wallace State Park. And on the menu, Sweet Potato Biscuits, so stick around. This is Wade, and I'm Angel, and this is Iris, and we are Pole House Black Pots Weekend Getaways, where we show you all things yummy to cook in cast iron as we visit different places.
Well, welcome back to part 3 of our weekend getaway to Wallace State Park. Last video we just got back from a short little trip over to St. Joseph, Missouri, and kind of toured around there. And now that we got back, it's middle of the afternoon, we started a fire, got it going over there, and Angel is working on
Part of dinner.
Sweet potato biscuits. So we baked some sweet potatoes right before you left home, really handy. And now they're all chunked or just peeled, ready?
Just peeled.
Ready to...
You need to mash them.
Hold on, I gotta go over here. Iris is gonna get in trouble. Hey, are you supposed to be chewing on your water bowl? Here, give it. Leave it. You have a chewy over here. Here, get your chewy, you have that. I want that, Dad. There you go, you chew on that.
You know, we've never had a dog that bring a food bowl to him or the water bowl when it was empty, except for her. She does that almost every day.
Yeah, and a minute ago when she brought it to me, I was chewing on it, I filled it up and then she dumped it, so I chewed on it again. So I don't think she's gonna get it for a little while. I don't think she's thirsty. So we're gonna finish up and start getting this ingredients ready for these sweet potato biscuits. So we'll be right back.
Hey. 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 Oh, really? Get it. I got my recipe on here. Now, you may ask what we use to keep track of all of our recipes. We use AnyList. Let you put your recipes in there and create shopping lists from them. So they're not a sponsor, but
pretty nice. And
we use it all the time.
You can go to your calendar and put your menu items in there.
Well, it's got a calendar. You can make a
so
menu.
You can pull your recipes that's in there, put them on there, and then create that shopping list.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but I got all my dry ingredients in there. There's flour, salt, baking powder, cinnamon, nutmeg. I think that's it. So, this recipe calls for 3/4 cup of sweet potatoes. We found that means 2 small ones or 1 not ginormous one.
But good size.
Good size one. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. Well, I say that and then it gets stuck in there because I mashed it. Now when the potatoes are a little warm, they're easier to mash. And honey, if you could go over there and get the honey.
Okay.
Yes, this recipe calls for honey.
So we did a little trick, heated up some water. Put some honey
now get back to my recipe here.
We heat it up on the stove. We'll keep in there and we'll reheat it and be plenty clean still to be able to use for doing dishes later.
All right, go ahead and set it down there. It calls for 1/3 cup of milk. Buttermilk's what it calls for. I don't have 1/3 cup because I'm going to guesstimate.
Yeah.
It should be about that. Need that here again in a minute. Now that irritates me. Okay. Then it calls for 1/4 cup of vegetable shortening. Vegetable oil is all liquid. We didn't bring shortening, so we're using vegetable oil.
And it works just fine.—
Now I know there'll be some naysayers out there that don't agree with me, that's fine. You do what you want.
It's still, we didn't notice much difference when we've made several different recipes. That
I don't often keep shortening on hand. I do vegetable oil.
it's easier to combine and put in something like this when you're not camping. That's
All right, now we're gonna guesstimate on this too, because you know, honey never goes bad, but it does get pretty crystalline, and it don't want to come out of there. Even with us putting it, it's warm. Well, we're gonna guesstimate on that too.
Put it in one little pile and you can pretty much tell. It's not the greatest idea to guesstimate when you're doing baking, but...
No, but anyhow. Whoop.
Now, a biscuit is a little bit kind of like in a bread. If you get real close, you can adjust to say, okay, it's just a tiny bit sticky, just a little bit of flour, or kind of a bit dry. You can add a little bit more milk.
So,
in this case, and not really
I'm going to try my best. If we had 2 mixing bowls, we'd do this in 2 separate mixing bowls, but we don't. So we're going to do our best to mix it all up and not overdo it.
You don't want to overmix biscuits, do you?
Now, you could have these for breakfast, which we've done. Leslie just loves these biscuits. Don't tell her it's Sweet Potato, though. I'm not sure she'd eat it if we told her that. But
they don't taste like sweet potato. They taste like a spiced up, nice, kind of a sweet, not overly sweet biscuit.
I might add a little more milk, because it's a little dry. Anyhow, you could have these for breakfast. We're having them with our dinner, because we're having something that's in our cookbook. If you didn't know it, yes, we have a cookbook. It's our first 2 years' recipes, and one of them is one of Wade's favorites. We'll link the video below. It's Wade's Hunter Stew.
It's real good camping or out when you're hunting type thing. There's a lot of canned goods, and the only thing that's not shelf stable is your hamburger.
Yep.
Or ground beef, whichever you want to technically speak.
But you know, you could do it ahead of time. Ground your beef, or brown your beef, not ground it, brown it. And
put it in a Ziploc, keep it in the cooler.
Yeah, well, or freeze it and then put it in your cooler.
Yeah, either one. Be fine.
Okay, Wade. We don't want to mix it any more than that.
Nope, just barely coming together, and that's it.
We're gonna regroup. Wade's gonna dump it in the Dutch oven, and he's gonna score it. And we'll show you that here in just a minute.
I better get charcoal started. Be right back. These are a sweet biscuit, so just to play it safe, I'm putting just a little bit of cooking spray in the bottom of the Dutch oven. Now, you could flatten these out on your board and then cut them with a cutter, and that would be perfectly fine. You make some nice pretty biscuits. But for ease, we're going to do it this way. Now, all we got to do is kind of flatten them out halfway with our spoon. And then to make it real easy, what I'm going to do, take my clean hands, put just a little bit of spray on them so it doesn't stick to my hands, and then we can flatten them out right into the bottom of, and you can do this with any biscuit and not have to do that other type of cutting. And you can get more biscuit in your Dutch oven for the amount of space. And then we use this some kind of a plastic cutter, kind of score, makes it kind of easy to get them out later on when they're baked. And you don't have to do that if you don't want to, however you want to do it. of course, is fine. This is something we learned to do. It's kind of handy. There we go. Now, charcoal's almost ready. Put the lid on. Take him over the coals and we'll get these biscuits cooking.
When it's windy, always use your wind guard. On this channel, we show you yummy, delicious, and interesting things to cook in cast iron, most specifically Dutch ovens. Do you know we have a cookbook? It not only shows you great tips how to use your Dutch ovens, but it gives you our first 2 years of recipes. They're $20 with $6 shipping and handling. You can get those at Pole House Black Pots, P.O. Box 212, Fayette, Missouri 65248, or on Venmo.
Yes, in the Venmo, look up Pole House Black Pots on Venmo. All right, hon.
I smell
We
'em.
smelt them. We were sitting over by the campfire about 2 minutes ago. We smelled them, and it's been 30-minute cook time, so we're pretty sure they're done.
Oh yeah, look at them. Now, as with beef, your steak, any other biscuit, you really ought to give it a chance to rest. That you will pull these biscuits out right now and they're gonna be mighty crumbly.
Yes.
So,
Okay, hold on. Here, Iris. And we're in Campground 2. There's our truck. Now, down this road where the campground closed sign is, you can't drive down here, but we can walk, should be Campground 3 and Campground 4, and they don't keep these open during the winter time because, of course, they don't have enough people to need to reserve them. I think Campground 3 is a fairly small one, only like 5 sites, and it is just basic. So we'll go find out. I think if I can remember correctly from I looked at the website. And I think Campground 4 is a little bit bigger with the electric site. So we'll go check it out and see. Yeah, I was correct. Okay, Wallace State Park Campground number 3 is just basic. If we look down there, I think there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sites here. Nice little loop drive. A couple of these have, I don't know if you can see, maybe I'll get a better close-up. Some of them have the little tables that are actually covered, which are kind of cute. So yep, 5 sites here. They're loop drive and they're all back-end sites. Not really very long, of course, like a lot of your basic ones. All of them good for tent camping. And they're all gravel pads. So let's go check out campground number 4. Okay, yes, we have come to campground number 4. These are our electric sites. And kind of look down through there. Kind of on down through this ridge down through here. And I'm not for sure. This is probably the end of it, so I don't remember exactly, but I think we're in the mid-80s total. So that's somewhere in the mid-80s number of campsites here at Wallace State Park. Go ahead and show. These are kind of neat. These little sheltered picnic tables are really neat. They've got your regular picnic table, and they got this little shelf up above. Just kind of handy to put extra stuff. Not all of them here have them, but a random bunch of them do. I think Graham Cave, yeah, that's right. I think Graham Cave is one of them that also has some of these like this. I don't know how old they are, but I presume that they're probably some of the older ones. I don't know if they're doing very much in some of the newer sites. So it's also, I don't know if you can see it very well, a little playground, basically just swings down there though. But here's a couple of really nice 69 and 71 are pull through, real long paved sites. And I haven't been all the way around, but I think, at least from what I can tell, most of these are paved sites. But these are pretty nice. Looks like there's a fair amount of, about half of them are really good shade. Some of these out in the middle are gonna be more sun, which is not a big deal if you were cool weather, but in summertime, like everybody else, we're hunting for some cooler sites. Now yes, I wasn't for sure, but here's an example. I don't know about all these sites, but here's site 73, I can tell. And it, of course, is 50 amp. So at least there's a portion of these are 50 amp service. There's a nice little vault toilet down here. And here's an example of one of the handicapped. This happens to be site 75. Of course, they're all paved concrete around the fire pit and the picnic table. And they are, of course, nice and level.
What you hearing, Iris? Bunch of squirrels and birds got y'all discombobulated. That looks yummy, honey.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we're all loaded up,
Yep.
ready to head home. It's been a good weekend.
Yes, it has. It's been a little chilly. That wind's been rough.
Well, this morning is the coolest morning. We had frost all over the windshields, but there's no wind, so it actually doesn't feel any worse. I think they feel like temperature's warmer than it was yesterday morning.
So we're headed home. That'll probably do it for this weekend getaway. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, which is a like, share us on Facebook or Instagram. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. That helps us out with YouTube. Yep. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. Made it home.
Yep, we made it home.